Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Okay, this is a different one today in the sense that this week I want to look at some of my favorite Psalms, my passages from the Old Testament book of Psalms. And within those, today I'm going to start with Psalm 1. It's a very simple psalm, but it's one that draws a picture in contrast. And so I'm going to try to film this in a couple of different locations so that we can see the contrast. So hang on while I move to a different location. Yeah, here I am. Look at this location. This is an olive tree. It's seen better days. These leaves are not really a sign of anything good and useful in life. In fact, this tree needs to be cut down. It's useless. And the reason I'm here is because I can contrast this with a fruitful tree. But first I have to move, so hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I changed locations. Now I'm standing here with this peach tree. Look at it, look at this little peach. See the little peach? Oh, the little peach. That's a fruitful tree. That's a tree that's got life and is gonna do what trees, at least that kind of tree, is meant to do. It's to bear fruit. Now here is the contrast, not in picture, but in the psalm. The psalm says, "Blessed is the person who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, or sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night." Now the contrast. He's like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf doesn't wither. In all that he does, he prospers. The wicked are not so, but are like chaff, dead leaves that the wind blows away. So here's the question in the video thought for the day. Do I want to be useful or useless in my life? The Psalms give very good instructions for how to be useful or how to be useless. It's, do I want to follow the path of the wicked? Do I want to stand in the way of people who scoff and who are cynics and who don't have a faith and a vibrant trust in God? Or do I want to spend my time thinking about God and his message, what he's got to say, what he said in his word? If I'll do that, the psalm says I'll be like the fruitful tree. That means I'll be useful. So I want you to think about what you've got to do today. I want you to think about what you've got to do this week. And don't think about it simply in terms of getting the job done. Think about it in terms of being useful or fruitful to the Lord. And if we are useful in this life, it's going to become apparent as we spend time in the presence of God. So, long story short, I've got two different pictures. I've got this fruitful tree, which doesn't bear fruit right now. The psalm doesn't say you got the fruit immediately. It says it bears its fruit in its season. So I'm going to spend my time, I'm going to be devoted to the Lord, and I'm going to trust that in due season, these little peaches are going to ripen and they're going to bear the proper fruit. The fruit that I want in my life is fruit that only comes from the presence of God. I'm reminded of that passage in Galatians where Paul talks about the fruit of the Spirit. And when he's talking about it, he's talking about how the Spirit of God indwells our spirit and produces in us a love and a joy and a peace and a patience, a kindness, a gentleness, self-control. God's work in our life produces fruit, and fruit grow from the inside out. And that's the joy of this. So Psalm 1, blessed is the person. Don't stand in the way of sinners or sit in the seat of scoffers. Don't be one of these people that doesn't trust in God. But ignore the counsel of the wicked and spend your time getting counsel from God. spend time in His Word, spend time in His presence. That's your video thought for the day. Join me in the Psalms this week. If you like these, if you'll hit a like sign if you're on YouTube watching it, and you hit the bell notification, you'll get notified as more come up. But God bless you. Have a great and fruitful week.